Ash Sutton ready to go. Race 1, round 2 of the carsales ARG eSport Cup from Circuit Zolder in Belgium. 40 drivers are keen and on their way down to turn number 1. Let's see if they make it all through because it tightens up. Pretty good so far. One in the background pinballing on their way through there, but everybody else pretty well behaved.
Very well behaved. And this circuit, because there's a little bit more room either side of the racetrack, unlike Bathurst, we might see cars get away with going off the circuit or coming together.
Ben McMillan there in the Michelin car. He's right in the middle of the pack there. And it's bumper to bumper, nose to tail. Tim Brooks involved in a bit of incident there. That's Will Brown who's been turned around out the chicane. That's at turn 5. There's a bit of chaos. That's Aaron Seaton's involved as well. Who else is a thing? Ash Sutton's got the lead and he's breaking away. There's the margin already back to Jay Hansen. James Golding next, then Dylan O'Keefe in that white number 33 car. Fighting with, this is close, Nick Carroll down the inside and lunging.
Garth Tander.
Garth Tander will not be impressed with that one. That was on the run down through turn 8. They come through the Yock and Rint S's. It's a fast, flat-out section. Before the final chicane, watch for the wall on the left. A couple of them came a cropper in qualifying. And if you get a bit too eager, that wall is ready and waiting. End of lap 1. Sutton leads the way. 2-second margin. Back to Jay Hansen. Then it's Golding, O'Keefe, Nathan Hearn, Jaden Ransley, Nick Carroll, Harley Haber. This is on here. This is willing stuff. Wide out off the grass. This is the run to turn 2. And we're on board with Harley Haber in that Kumo number 21. Ash Sutton's lead is now 2.6 seconds back to James Golding. Clemente's under major... That's Cam Mason down the inside. Drama up in front, bouncing off the wall.
Tim McReynolds. John Martin.
John Martin, the Honda Civic driver in reality, but he's got a crashed Audi in the carsales ARG eSport Cup, and he's going to get cleaned up on the way through. Absolute carnage at Zolder. There it is in the background. It's Will Brown who's been involved. So at Montreal they have the Wall of Champions. At Zolder we have the chumps.
That's a bit harsh. A much better race for Will though, because at Bathurst he did one lap and was returned to the pits on his roof, and that was it. Here we go for another replay, and he's just gone a little bit wide in the last corner there, clipped the wall, and around he goes.
Let's dial in and have a chat to Beebs. James Golding, how you going, mate? P2, but you got to catch that Ash Sutton. He's not helping us here to get a win for Australian drivers or Kiwis.
Yeah, mate, under a bit of pressure here, so I'll just try and hold off this. Oh, no, he's up the inside here.
Is that the commentator's curse that's done you in there?
Oh, we'll see. I don't want to let Dylan pass here.
No, block all you like. There you go, use the bumper. Oh, this is tight. Oh boy. I didn't mean to do it like that, mate.
I think it's time for us to get off this chat.
Yeah. Now I know how the late great Mike Raymond felt with Dick Johnson with that wing broke at Bathurst. Let's have a look again here. Hearn had got down the inside and got the job done. And this was on the run through the turn 6 sweeper. He blocked the line up the inside. Golding went back to the mid-track, but that's where Dylan O'Keefe was. And then Hearn was really slow at the midpoint of the corner, and chaos follows. Jay Hansen's involved. The wily Garth Tander just snuck to the right of everybody.
Ooh, that was Tim McReynolds, I think.
It was. 3-wheeled McReynolds.
Ooh.
Plenty of damage. There's
and
Tim Brooks.
Brooksy.
He was in the wall. Hansen's fence as well. So plenty of carnage.
Ben Barguana there.
Wide where Harley Haber's down the inside. It'll be side by side to the turn 5 chicane, but he's clear and he'll be able to grab that spot.
Nice move there by Harley Haber. Very, very nice and clean. Ben Barguana's doing an amazing job in P8 there. That's a great effort. He must spend a bit more time than Dad on the sim, I reckon. Jordan Cox, we haven't spoken about him too much. Obviously did the championship last year.
Contact in the background there between Harley Haber and Garth Tander. That's down at the chicane at turn 7. There is Garth recovering in the number 75 J-Mac Racing car, but he's losing some spots. That's Jonathan Mykoff down the inside, former and long-time V8 touring car and development series competitor.
Let's have a look at the replay and what happened there. I think we were sort of 2 into 1, don't really go. Would you say there, Aaron?
I'll say let's have a look here and see what I'm betting that there's a little bit of rub on the way through. Cameron wide, and then bouncing into Haber, who was going around the outside. Now let's have a look at the total replay to see what's unfolded here with Chelsea Angelo. This is on the run down to the chicane. Oh no, it's
hit the
old imaginary wall.
God,
Hits you every time, doesn't it? Ash Sutton's lead is now 10.8 seconds over Dylan O'Keefe, and we might dial into our second place car at the moment with Dylan O'Keefe. Hey mate, 11 seconds the margin to Ash Sutton. Do you put up the white flag here and just bring it on home, or are you going to press on?
I think I'll just try and do my own thing. Oh, bloody hell. Jay Hanson's just come out the pits in front of me and spun.
Yeah, we can see
Yeah,
that.
we just saw that. You were lucky to get away with that.
Oh, far out. Anyway, yeah, just try and hold these guys at bay. I don't seem to be the quickest at this track, so try and get as many points as I can.
We might dial back up to Toowoomba Way. Will Brown, what is going on with your race, my friend? You have had a stinker.
I'm on fire today. Actually, I think I'm literally on fire. But I've got 8 minutes repairs in the pit. So yeah, I thought I'd come on and talk to you guys because we've got a bit of time free.
You do. We've got 12 minutes left in this race, so you're probably going to get out for 4 more laps of racing, and you're going to have to start down the back for the second race. Hey, has everyone taken this as seriously as some of the drivers have, or do you think there's a few drivers out there who perhaps are a little cowboy in their approach tonight?
I think I'm about as cowboy as they get with my approach. I'm gone pretty bad, but we'll try to come back next one and have another go. My mum just told me I absolutely suck, and I think she actually said it in worse words than that, to tell the truth. So I've been told.
This is a ripping fight. This is probably the best fight on the track at the time. Harley Haber got the nose in here to try to get to the inside of Jono Bykoff. They're fighting for 6th.
Oh,
He's got the spot. He's got it down the inside. Now, can George Mediki jump up in the action and try to fire his way on through? The exit of turn 8 brings them back to the chicane that brings them onto the pit straight. It is the last lap. The clock with 30 minutes has expired for this first race tonight, and Ash Sutton is on his way home with a 20-second margin at the moment. This is the fight for P6, or P14 for the grid for the next race, if you want to look at it that way as well.
so Ash Sutton there with the Panther Fuels livery, coming up to the back end of the circuit there to finish the race off. Obviously, Panther Fuels are our fuel supplier championship.
And he has lapped half the field. The car in front of him is running in 20th position, Cam Mason. So final turn, checkered flag. You've got to go to the pit wall if you're going to celebrate a win in any racing. And Ash Sutton makes it 2 wins so far from the carsales ARG eSport Cup. Here's the grid. Aaron Cameron and Cam Mason on the front row. Tim Macro and Aaron Seaton next from Tim McReynolds, Braden Wilmington, Jack Milligan, Garth Tander, who we just spoke to, starts from 8th. Michael Clemente, 9th, and Trent Harrison rounds out the top 10. So
Some of these drivers that might not be actually be able to do a lap in qualifying. And away we go. We're off the start line there. Michael Clemente got a fantastic start.
it's Aaron Cameron with the best start, though, of all of them. That GRM Valvoline car, Ash Sutton, the race 1 winner's been turned. The Panther 116 car is in the fence before he's even made it to turn 1. And Tim Brook there in the background off to driver's left. There's another car involved in the sand trap at turn 1. So our race 1 winner, Ash Sutton, who was 3rd in the points coming into tonight, off the road, down the back of the pack with a whole pile of work to do. There he is. He's only just got to turn 2 on this first lap. More cars around. That's Braden Wilmington getting involved on the crest of the hill. Plenty of debris, and there is Wilmington on the other side, peeling his way out of the fence and getting going again. That's Aaron Seaton off again. Jed Johnson charging out through the grass. Oh boy, this is carnage central. Jack Milligan manages to escape the middle of the road, and this is for the lead. That was Aaron Cameron running wide. And was that Tim Macro who was trying to get down the inside? Tander is through to the lead. That's a re-entry that's not going to work. Cars going every which way. And through it all, the JMX 75 car, Garth Tander takes the lead. There was contact with Aaron Cameron down at turn 9. Let's have a look on the Total replay. This is coming out of the chicane. That's Mason Seaton having a spin in the background. And we will see a run here from... Yeah, Cameron, I think, has ended up a little wide here. And he's got a big run on him coming down towards the turn 7 chicane. Down the inside.
Oh,
Touching him on the way through, but too quick.
way too deep. Yeah. He's outbraked himself there and found the fence, but then he's caused mayhem from cars behind.
Ben Barguana in the
rejoining the
Wilson car.
circuit.
He was one of them. Fight here with Ben McMillan and Jono Bykoff. Tim Brook just behind in the Morris Finance 64 car. And McMillan's keen to get down the inside, but there's a car rejoining and contact with Bykoff, who is off in the scenery at turn 2. 9.5 minutes left to go in this second race of the evening. That's the unit clothing car up in front that he's trying to get a move on, and in fact he gets a move on it. The track tech entry goes on by.
Quite an aggressive move there.
And that was on Jason Gomersall, the TCM racer, who he's not in his Tirana tonight. He can't whack back because a TCM car's a bit more bulky. Tell you what, he's brave here with Aaron Seaton going side by side through that final chicane. They got away with it. And Golding now stands to gain, sneaking down the inside as, oh no, this is being gone. Contact between Seaton and Golding, and they are on the outskirts of the top 10. They'll get rolling, but that will put them down the order.
James got a really good run through the last couple of corners, and Aaron didn't get a very good run. He's tried to go down the inside, clip wheels. Okay, so that's what sent him to Aaron and created that big mess.
There was road there to squeeze through, but not much extra beyond the width of an Audi.
They're so close here, setting themselves up for a nice little manoeuvre. Cox trying to go around the outside. I don't think that's going to work. Aaron Cameron had it well covered there, and Nick Carroll now is right into the battle.
Have a look at this. Cox down the inside. Turn 2, trying to get in the gap. There's a little bit of a touch. Look for Carroll. He will get in the mix here and follow him through. So change for second and third spot. Aaron Cameron dumped back to fourth, and Carroll has designs for second. He's down the inside, and there's contact with the internet sensation Jordan Cox out wide through the sand, gets going again. Now he's vulnerable to Dylan O'Keefe, and the banging match is going on. Carroll and Cameron, second place on the line. Chicane awaits. Carroll has the inside. Cameron doesn't bother with the chicane, cuts it, drives on through. Surely you can't be doing that. It's brewing, and I sense that there's going to be some drama in the last 2 minutes of this race.
These guys are fighting really, really hard, and I know these guys really they do have a massive crack, so I reckon there's going to be probably a shunt before the end of the race, to be honest.
I reckon it's a safe bet. They're pedaling their way through turn 2 at the moment. That's Cameron around the outside of Nick Carroll. Look for Cox to try to fill the gap, and Dylan O'Keefe is right behind them as well.
This is great racing. This is really, really good. This is what we want to try.
Next round, next week for the carsales ARG eSports Cup takes us to Watkins Glen in the United States of America. Of course, NASCAR circuit, IndyCar circuit, sports car venue, one of the classic road racing courses of world motorsport. We're counting down the clock for this one, though, from Zolder. It's great to have so many of you with us. This guy's not been with us in this race. Garth Tander has done a mini Ash Sutton. He hasn't snuck away by as many seconds, but he's had a very lonely time of this one, and you know what? He'll be totally fine. Tander out front, he has got them absolutely smoked. And that's Nick Carroll charging on through.
Oh.
That's Cox sideways in the background. And that is job done. So it's Tander with the win by 4.7 seconds. Carroll got second.